Okay, so one thing that I do with my horses, and I highly recommend it as you're coming into winter or more work, and you know they need a little bit more forage or they need a little bit more calories, is make beet pulp. So this is just a thingy from my cupboard so I can measure it. I do one of these with beet pulp shreds with no extra molasses, and then I do 2 things of water because it's dried, and you never ever want to feed your horse beet pulp dry. It will expand in their stomach and cause a ridiculous amount of issues. Do not do it. So I'll show it to you. I'll flip the camera around. So beet pulp usually comes in a bag, but I ended up putting it into a bucket here. And this is the no molasses beet pulp because I don't like to feed my horses extra sugar if I can help it. It does not taste good. I have totally tried it in the past. And it just comes in these shreds, okay? So what I do is I take 1 scoop of this and I put it in here, and then I put 2 scoops of water on top. So give me 1 second. So pretty simple measuring. I just put 1 in here. It is kind of hard to scoop. I usually use an actual feed scoop, and I just toss it in here, and then I put 2 whole things of water on. I will let you know that hot water would be better than cold water if you are in a bind for time, but I've got time. I'm going to use these actually to make horse treats. So as you can see, it adds it, but it doesn't cover it. You're going to want your beet pulp covered because it's going to soak up this water quick. So this is my second pour. And you can see it starts covering it. So obviously if you want it more soupy, you can give more water to it, but this will soak it up. I'll give it 5 minutes and I'll show you it again, but this will soak it up pretty well. So I really like beet pulp because it is a sustainable product, meaning it is actually the byproduct of making beet sugar that they use in a lot of like stuff that we use in the kitchen. And so it's the leftover pulp from the beets. They dry it and then we can use it as animal food. So it is kind of like a reduce, reuse, recycle, but it's so good for them. It does have some decent nutritional, but it's got a lot of calories, and it can really raise the amount of forage your horse is getting while, maybe they're a little bit thin in the top line, or maybe they're going into more work than they're used to, or whatever. It also is really good to reduce the stomach acid. So you can feed a handful of soaked beet pulp to your horse before your ride to help coat their stomach, and it'll keep the acid down from like rumbling around in there while you're riding, and help with ulcers. So I really like beet pulp. So here is the beet pulp all ready to be used. You can see there's some water left over. I like that with my beet pulp because then I know it's fully saturated. Not everybody likes that, I get that, but I do. And if you feel it, it's real squishy, and you can see, let me get close to the camera here. It's just shreds of beet pulp. You'd think it'd be red, but it's not. So now it's ready to eat, and you can measure it out. You can keep it like this. Some people like to ferment their beet pulp. I just prep it as I need it, so on the daily. But you can keep it like this for up to 7 days. So just keep that in mind. That's what it looks like when it's all ready and good to go to feed your horse. I feed Indra about 1 pound of dry beet pulp at night, every single night. So with water, it ends up being, 2.5 pounds of beet pulp to give her the calories and the forage.